it's now time for the Q&A segment. Temitope, please can I have you back? I'm going to read out some of your questions and Temitope will give you her insights for the next 10 minutes. After that, we'll share a few quick closing remarks and then we'll end the workshop. But for now, let's get into the Q&A. So first question we have here is from someone anonymous, and they say, how can I track people who saw my product on my app, website, or social media?
Okay, all right, thank you, Kalada. Again, we spoke about all of that. Maybe you were not in the class at the time. So we said Google Analytics is a fantastic tool. We said HubSpot is also a fantastic tool, and also Mixpanel for your app, for your website, and for social, for your app and your website. For social media, there's the Facebook Insight tool, there's the Facebook Analytics tool. There's also Pinterest Analytics. So those are the ones that you can use to track. I want to quickly say that it's always wiser for you to track the Google Analytics on your app. So if you have an app and also a website, it's also great for you to have Google Analytics and segment the properties of your app from your website so that you are not bombarding different analytics or different reporting into one place. Know who's coming from your app, know who's coming from your website. So it's always great to have them as two different properties on your Google Analytics. So that answers it.
Perfect. Next question is from Uju. Uju asks, okay, actually, I'll come back to this question, Uju. Okay, yes. So this is from Miriam. Miriam's asking about choice architecture. So she's asking basically, how can I use choice architecture if I'm a service-based business? What would that look like for me?
All right, awesome. Okay, so a great way, a choice architecture for event planning would be for different types of events. Like, so you said, because my customer needs to plan an event for them and I can't make them choose birthday when they're looking to get married, absolutely not. However, you can actually give them choices in the type of event they're trying to plan. Do they want, it's always, I always say that it's wiser for event planners to know their customers so that they're able to give them choices. Now, you're not even in a product business, you're in a service business, which means you can actually better tailor your service to your customers, or you can better tailor your product to your customers. For instance, everybody has this mindset of having a big wedding or a trendy wedding in Nigeria. And, you know, I recently got married and it was essential for me, it was priority to me not to be on any social platform for my wedding or to have it trend. It was hard to get a type of event planner that wanted to do something as small as I wanted to do. So knowing your customer and knowing the type of choice that they want will help you. You are even better suited to plan, to know the choice of your customer before just giving them anything and then planning according to their choice. So they want something small. They want an event of just 70 people. They want it in their room. They want it in their living room. They don't want to have to use an event center or something. You are actually in a better position to give your customers the choices that they need, not that you are getting. I hope that answers your question, Miriam.
Awesome. So next question we have is from Caleb. Caleb says, how can I categorize choices on my website for like an online course? Our training is open to organizations and individuals.
The perfect example was the one for visas, categories, and choices. So on your platform, you have trainings for individuals and then you have trainings for organizations so that people can actually come and then choose. So instead of say having it at above the fold of your website, you can have it in your banner or your slider. You can just have a one-pager that has the left side trainings for organization and the right side trainings for individuals so that your target audience can know which one belongs to them so that they're not running all over the website and trying to figure out which one is for them and which isn't for them. So I advise that your first page should have something for the organizations, something for the individuals. There it is.
Perfect. Next question is from, okay, Ronke asks, are there specific ways to market a travel business?
I've never been in the travel business. However, I always like to think about things from a customer's perspective. There are no specific ways, and I think maybe a travel collaboration would be a perfect answer for you. Find people who are doing what you're doing, learn from them, learn how they're doing it, learn what the customers want. The people who do bespoke traveling, the people who do, general traveling. So I would advise that you learn from the people who are better suited to answer your question. I would probably just answer it in a general way, which means understand what your customers want, package your products in different, locations, do tour travels, do bespoke travel. So I have somebody who does something different from what every other travel person does. She doesn't advertise anything to anybody. She just figures out where are you trying to go for your next holiday, and she sits down with you for like 3 to 5 hours, trying to understand who you are and what you need. So she's designing a different travel for somebody who just wants to go and rest, or somebody who just wants to go and stay in front of the water and just be chilled, or just be calm. It's a different event. If it's a different travel package for somebody who just wants to go on vacation and just go all over the city, so all over the city. So general answer that I'll give to you is that know your customers, know what they need at the particular time that they're trying to travel. Are they going on a business conference? Are they going to just rest? Are they going to see their family? Are they willing to see the world? So, but most importantly, find people who have done this and then, learn from them. Yep, that's my answer.
Temitope is absolutely right. And Ronke, like we mentioned earlier, at the back, towards the back of your workbook, if you check the additional tools, there's a guide on how to get started with marketing. So all the things that Temitope just mentioned is included in some of those introductory videos, so that you can start to understand who are my customers, what am I going to say to them when I promote my travel business, stuff like that. So definitely check out that marketing guide. Okay, unfortunately, we are running short on time, so we only have time for 2 more questions. Like I mentioned earlier, anyone whose question we don't manage to answer right now, we'll do our best to answer all of them during the Instagram live, which is on Friday, which you'll also be able to see Temitope at. So definitely, if you have more questions for Temitope, you've loved picking her brain, please share as many as you can. You don't usually get opportunities like this to talk to someone like Temitope for free. So definitely try to make the most of it. Okay, so 2 more questions. First one is, okay, so I'm going to skip over some of these because I can answer them very quickly. We want to get the most out of Temitope's knowledge. So let's see, someone like, yes, someone like, okay. Yes, so there's someone's name here isn't coming out right, but they said, will the strategies also work for social entrepreneurship ventures? So specifically, I think they're talking about choice, what you mentioned about choice architecture.
Yeah. Okay, so wherever that is, I would say that yes, some of the strategies can work for choice social entrepreneurship ventures. I don't know what particular venture you're in, if it's environment, if it's education, if it is, I don't know which is it, but I would say that all the strategies, if you actually sit down to think about your target audience, which I think will be more, partnerships. You want to get partners for your social entrepreneurship. Okay, so education. You want to get partnership for your social entrepreneurship. How do you reach out to them? Have your website ready. Send them email marketing. Send them, if you have like a database of people you're trying to reach, send them email marketing for their awareness. Also put on your social platforms the things that you're doing, so that you're able to, whenever they search about you or they research about you, they see what you're doing, which is like an awareness. And then follow up with an email, or follow up with dynamic ads, or follow up with retargeting ads for the people who are seeing what you're doing, and then blast your email out to them. And also, people have the habit of blasting email out and then leaving it at that. Never do that. Try and give reminder emails at least once a week, or bi-weekly. So that's what I'll say for social entrepreneurs, because I believe that most of their target audience are based on partnerships more than individuals. Except maybe you have individuals that you need to get on board on something as well. Same thing works for them.
Awesome. And the last one is from Sharon. Sharon says, is it possible to use email marketing even if you don't have a website?
It is. It's not always advisable, but it is. And I say that because most of the email platforms ask you for your website and then your work email, for instance. And then if you get to use it without the website and your work email, yes, you would still be able to do what you need to do. However, there is a higher likability for your emails to go to spam than it's going to the primary audience. For someone like me, I go through my promotions and socials, but a whole lot of people don't. If it's not on their primary inbox, it's all gone and done for them. But you can do it. However, it's advisable to take it up a notch and then, purchase a website, or even if you don't have the website specifically, if you have the domain name, you can impute it in the email. That's my answer.
Okay, perfect. So this is all we had time for the Q&A segment. But Temitope, thank you so much. Before we move into closing remarks, I think two people asked where would be the best place for them to reach out to you on. So which link would you prefer? Like what platform would you prefer they reach out to you on? Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook? What's your preference?
Instagram, LinkedIn is great. However, I probably would not take it as seriously. Maybe my email. I read my emails like every day, every hour. So I don't know if that's possible, but Instagram and LinkedIn, if not, Instagram and LinkedIn is great.
Okay. So what I can do, if you don't mind, I can share your email with them in the chat section. Is that okay?
Yes. Temitope Africa. It's great.
Okay, perfect. So I'll do that now.
Thank you.
No problem. Okay, so everyone, please check out the chat. That is Temitope's email. Please save it with care. Hold on to it for precious life. You know what I'm saying? Just want to reemphasize that you don't always get an opportunity to talk to someone like Temitope, who's worked with all kinds of brands across Africa. So hopefully she does manage to get back to you, but sometimes Temitope is a very busy woman. So if it takes a little while to get back to you, please bear that in mind, and hopefully we'll get back to you as soon as she can. Okay, so we have come to the end of today's workshop. A few quick things before we say goodbye. Number one is that there is an Instagram live stream, which is going to be on Friday. Temitope is also going to be there. So anyone's questions that we did not get to answer just now, Temitope will be answering them in the Q&A on Instagram this Friday from 5 to 6 p.m., I believe. Otherwise, as I've mentioned to everyone, not replays, let's say recordings, the footage of all of these workshops will be released in the second week of November, and we will be reaching out to all of you to let you know when they're available for your consumption. So please keep your eyes glued to your email, and also She Leads Africa on social media to find out when it is released. Otherwise, that's it from us. Thank you so much for joining today's workshop. It's been an absolute pleasure. We do have a prize giveaway for the first 3 people who joined in on today's workshop. So if you were the first 3 to join, we'll be reaching out to you. You will be able to win a prize where you get an office hours session with Temitope. Each of you will have 15 minutes to pick her brain. As I mentioned, you don't usually get to do this for free, but we like to reward people who come on time and give their best effort while learning. So if you're one of those 3 lucky people, then I'll be reaching out to you shortly in the coming weeks. Otherwise, we're also giving out a promotional opportunity on our Instagram stories on the SLA page to the 5 most engaged participants in the chat during today's workshop. So we're going to be looking through the chat section to find out who is the most engaged, and then we'll reach out to the 5 most engaged people as well. Otherwise, we are hosting another workshop next Wednesday, and like I mentioned, the live stream where you're going to get your questions answered by Temitope is on Friday. But that is it from me. Thank you so much, everyone, for coming today. It's been an absolute pleasure. I'll now hand over to Temitope to say goodbye, and then we'll be ending the workshop.
All right. Thank you so much for having me, to the team at She Leads Africa, Canada, and for y'all. I think very, amazing. It made my experience so amazing. And to the Visa team, thank you also for having me. It's such a privilege to share my experience with everybody, and for everybody on the call. I think we had over 200 people. It's amazing to be here and to be of impact to everybody. Thank you all so much for having me.